Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, episode 24 review. So, of course, before I get started, two things. Number one, obviously, no Japanese corporation, company, or network has any claim to this video. The thumbnail is an original photo which does not belong to any of them. Okay? To any of you. The audio is an original homemade soundtrack with me speaking over that original homemade soundtrack. And the visuals are me. You do not own me. This video follows the rules and regulations that are provided and set by YouTube/Google. That's number one, obviously. Now, number two is you guys can look down in the description below for the link to this week's episode of Magi. Now, that being said, this week's episode of Magi, fall from grace. Wait. It was like, I'll be honest, I was not a happy camper when I was watching the final scenes of the episode. I was like, no. And I mean, just to give you guys like an actual brief summary of what happened at the end of the episode, right? Because like there's obviously other stuff that occurred in the episode, obviously, but the main focus at the end was this transformation: Alibaba falling from grace and now having a dark djinn equipment. I mean, even though he already has a regular djinn, apparently now he has like a dark djinn equip going on. And I'm like what? Like, what's going on? So, what ended up happening here, alright, is that at the end, after the whole entire thing, where Isaac, he disappeared, and I'm calling him Isaac, alright? I'm not gonna call him Isaac, I'm calling him Isaac, right? Fuck that shit. After Isaac disappears, and then Dunya, she's like on her last ropes, Alibaba, I mean, he's still like, what the fuck, man? Like, you can't pull, like, this good shit out. You can't pull the sympathy card out after you just carve Hakuryu's arm. And by the way, apparently, half of this shit didn't happen in the manga. And I'll get more to detail after. But you can't pull out the sympathy card after you just carve Hakuryu's arm. And after you pulled all this evil stuff. After you guys have set, like, literally an army. Someone's calling me. Pick up later. After you guys literally set an army to the country of Shindoria. And then, what just happens is that he decides not to attack her. But then, Isnan, he says, fuck it. Isnan takes his sickle, stabs Dunya right through here, through the back, out here, and then takes his sickle back, and then she's on the ground, and there's blood everywhere, and then Alibaba runs over to her, and then he picks her up. He looks at Isnan, he's like, nah, and then all of a sudden, like, some seal on his arm breaks. And I'm not too sure exactly what the seal is for, or like what it did. I believe Yamuraya put there, I believe that Yamuraya put that there, but I'm not too sure exactly. But either way, the seal breaks, and then all of a sudden there's like a surge. There's a surge of dark rook around Alibaba. And Isnan, he's getting a fucking hard. He's like, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh, and then after that, we have these images start to flow into, and actually these images start to flow into Alibaba, Aladdin's, and Hakuryu's mind about what happened to Dunya, what happened to the real flesh and blood Isaac, what happened to her country and her people, how she was betrayed by her own guards, and her father being slayed, and yada yada yada, and all this stuff, and like Isaac was slayed in front of her by the very same troops that were supposed to protect her from this invading country. And that's how we see her fall from grace. And these images affect Alibaba in the same notion where he sees what happened to her, and then he starts to fall from grace. And I'm like, because, fuck it. After that, the curse starts to spread all around Alibaba to the point where it actually encompasses Alibaba's entire being. And then he makes the final step in the darkness on some Sasuke shit. Isnan comes inside the middle of the Rook zone, of the dark Rook zone, and then he taunts Alibaba, Alibaba comes in there with Amon, stab. Then a surge of Rook explodes from Isnan. So this is not a flesh and blood Isnan either. Like I don't know, like Isnan, he has like multiple clones going around. Like on some Kage Bunshin no Jutsu shit. He has multiple clones going around. And then the Rook immerses Alibaba. And then Aladdin explains to Hakuryu how Alibaba has just fallen from grace. And fallen from grace is to curse one's own fates. I see that content. Like, there's a lot of fate going on in the actual series. But he cursed his own fates. And then from there, what ends up happening here is that Alibaba, we see him emerge from the like the zone of Dark Rook ends. Like, it cuts off. And then Isnan is no longer there. Dooney, I think, is on the ground somewhere. I'm not too sure exactly. Isaac was never real to begin with. And then we see him standing there wearing Dark Jinn equipped armor, full. And then that's where the episode ends. Now, from a storytelling standpoint, it was good progression. From a character standpoint, it was bad. Because there was character regression. It was like, what the fuck? Like, seriously. I could not believe it. Alibaba, because my issue here is that he's been through the same shit with Kashi. He's been through the same shit with Kashi. And yet it was like, nah, man, fuck that. Fall from grace. And my main issue here, I mean, yeah, I'll explain later, alright? But my issue here is that he's been through more personal stuff involving Kashi with the same incidents. The same thing about becoming a Dark Jinn. The same falling from grace. The same going to darkness and losing your way. He's been through the same thing. And with Kashi, it was so much more personal. Because of the fact that it was his own country, his own people, and his own friend. He doesn't know who the fuck Dooney is. What the fuck? Like, it was so... Like, you see, like, that's the thing. The thing about Kashim is that with Kashim, Alibaba understood both the good and the evil. He understood the context of both sides and why the evil overpowered the good with Kashim and his psyche. He understood that. But with Dunya, it was so one-sided. There was no good. Well, there was one good thing, and that was like her love for Isaac. But then that was completely overwhelmed by all these negative emotions, all these negative images. It was so one-sided. And then he's like, yeah, fuck it, fall from darkness. So, I mean, yeah, like, listen, like, you could say, okay, well, it was the curse. Like, the curse affected Alibaba, and because of that, he went into darkness. But my problem is that, yeah, but with Kashim, he didn't go into darkness, and with Kashim, it was much more personal. It was so much more personal. So much more personal. It wasn't even funny. It was his people. It was his country. His countrymen and women. It was his family. And it was his best friend. So, like, I'm just saying. And, yeah. But there is one comfort. And the comfort is that this shit doesn't happen in the fucking manga. That's the comfort. Like, I didn't read the manga yet. Because, I told you guys that I'm going to read the manga once this season ends. Well, actually, it may be the series. And that's what I'm getting to. So my first point is at the ending of the episode, there's a good thing in story progression. But it's a bad thing in character regression. So that cancels out to be okay. But the episode overall had a lot of added on filler scenes. Either A, there were filler scenes. B, the shit didn't happen in the fucking manga. And C, they altered it from the original context of the manga. And the thing here is that, number one, Alibaba does not fall from grace in the manga. And again, I was told this via my brother, and also because he reads the manga, and also via people on who PM me. Number one, he does not fall from grace. Number two, Hakuryu is not there in the fight, period. He's not there in the fight, period. So when all of a sudden his arm gets cut off and he's like, that doesn't happen in the manga. That does not happen in the manga. No. That's number two. Number three, Shindoria is not invaded, period. Like, how? Shindoria is not invaded. No one invades them. At least as far as I remember. From what people told me and what my brother said. So it's like that's at least 3 things right there that were just added on stuff. So that begs the question, well, are they going to actually do another season based on the alteration of content that was shown at the end of this season? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Could they do it? Possibly. Maybe. But yeah, like I'm really on this one. I'm on the fence because I want to believe that I want to believe that there's going to be another season, but because of the alteration of the ending contents of this season, I don't see it anymore. So it could be a season. I mean, it could be a series finale, or it could be a season finale next week or the week after. Whenever it ends, either it ends on episode 25 or 26. I'm not too sure, but it could be either or, and I'm not too sure. But that's another thing about this episode that I didn't like. After hearing that, yeah, like a lot of this shit was like added on. Either it didn't happen in the manga, or it happened but it was completely altered. So we'll see. So that's number 2. And that bumps the episode down to a subpar plus right there. Subpar, yeah, actually, yeah, it's subpar. And then number 3, there was we see a few scenes of the actual invasion itself, right? We see, I forgot their names. No, well, Masaru takes on this one guy with like a dark Jin equip, it's not important. Masaru takes on easy, Masaru, he does his actual household vassal barara causa, and then just bam, punch through the stomach, and then the guy's dead. The other guy, again, I forgot his name. What was this guy's name? Jesus Christ, I think it was like Sharnock or something of that nature. I forget this dude's name. I constantly do. Yamuraiha, Jafar, Masaru. What's this guy's? Fuck it. Well, he's the swordsman, basically. He's the swordsman, right? Takes out this other swordsman from this invading army from Al Saman. And it's basically, this guy had these shadow clones, like literally had these shadow clones. And it doesn't matter because he gets wiped out. I mean, after he cuts the guy in the back, after he cuts the 8 general swordsman in the back, it's like, fuck that. He activates his household vassal, cut, and then the actual cuts themselves expand, and then he just cuts this guy in half, and all of his clones in half, easy. Yamuraya is still taking on this one weird dude in like a wheelchair in the air, whatever. But the main thing about this is that we have these scrubs, like these weird flying armored scrubs, being taken out by arrows, easy as fuck, and then there's like a big mass of like something coming, like it's a big mass of something just flowing in. And then this mass. So one of the girls from the same country as the Spartan dude and the dragon dude, she calls out these big ass lizard creatures that come out of the water, and they rush in there to eat this mass. The mass is like, no. The mass is like, no. And they get completely eroded. Like their flesh melts off, their bones are just fucking gone. It's like, whoa. So this thing is coming on its way, and it's going to try and envelop Shindoria. Will it succeed? Probably not. And the reason why is because of the fact that, well, come on now, this shit didn't happen in the manga. Just saying. What I will say is that I don't see how, like, even if they somehow convert Alibaba back to his original form, and they will, because, he's the main character, and they get to the Jin, I forgot his name, Zagan, and then they go back, see, there's no way they can go back in time. There's no possible way that they can go back in time to assist Sinbad when they're when they're in like another island. At least I don't think it's possible. I don't think so, unless they have a way to fly. Oh shit, magic carpet. Maybe they can. Actually, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But the only way they can actually succeed is if Sinbad takes out the djinn. If he takes out the djinn, and he's wasteland this. Oh fuck! I would love to see that. I would love it. I mean, yeah, it'll be add-on filler shit, but still, I would. Yo, man, fucking All right, but that's the episode. So we have one part that's okay because of the canceling out between good progression, but yet degression of character. That's okay. We have another thing that's very negative in the sense that there's a lot of filler and alteration in the manga, and after hearing about that, it's not cool at all. Because, like, again, like the falling from grace is add-on material, and I don't fucking like it at all. So that's gonna be a negative. That brings the episode down to subpar. And then there was a few cool fighting scenes here and there between the swordsman and the other swordsman, Masaru and the other guy. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it was okay. So we go from a subpar to an okay. So the episode rating overall is going to be subpar plus. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I want to give it a high rating, but I can't because no. I hate the fact that fall from grace. What the fuck? Seriously. All right, but I'm done. I mean, again, like, you could say that, yeah, like, you know, the curse and blah, 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 but hey, he's been through way more serious shit for a much longer period of time involving Balbat, his people, his country, his best friends, his family. And no. So I'm done. Kill Lightning. Be sure, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day. And once again, be sure to look down in the description below for the link to this week's episode of Magi. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, that's my new thing now. That's my new thing. Why? Because I can. Because I'm the king of fucking lightning, man. Ba-da-da!